How hard is it to date men in your 30s as a woman? Currently 29F with 35M. For anyone who is dating in your early 30s without children, how did you get the courage to leave your past relationship, and did you find what you were looking for? 29F, am so unhappy in my current relationship with my boyfriend, 35M. We've been together for 6 years, we have a home together, but we are not married and have no children. And I don't see a ring coming anytime soon. Just to be clear, there is nothing traumatic or abusive keeping me from leaving. I've just settled into a comfortable routine. And I feel like I'm settling for companionship, and there is no romance or anything to look forward to. We fight all the time over stupid things, and I look at wedding photos from friends now and I can't even imagine us like that anymore. Deep down I know I need to walk away. I'm just so afraid to, because I feel like re-entering the dating pool at my age is just going to leave me off worse than I am now. I feel like an undesirable woman entering her 30s who will just be left with the red flags. I feel like would have been fine if I left a few years ago when I started getting these feelings, but of course I did the "I can fix him" crap. Sometimes I'm so disappointed in myself for wasting so much time. But now I feel like there's no time left. I just need some hope that maybe I won't be making a mistake. Better to walk away and have a shot at happiness than stay and be more unhappy by the day. What you described is the antithesis of what having a partner is all about. You were so young when you got together. A lot of growing happened, and part of that growing is learning what you want and need to be happy. It seems that it's not him. Time to move on and pursue the life you want. White Heart. Edited to fix the word having. No kids and no divorce at 30? Going to be a unicorn in the dating market. You will be snatched up in a minute. Divorced at 29, engaged and due to marry my partner next year, 35 now. The relationship night and day. Don't be ridiculous. People find the love of their lives in their 30s, 40s, 50s. My wife and I met when she was 37 and I was 35. We fell in love, got married, had a son. We are about to hit our 20th anniversary, and our son is a happy, healthy young man in his first year of college. Life has its ups and downs, but we are doing pretty well as a couple. Anything is possible when there is love. Red Heart. Look at it this way. By staying, you're 100% guaranteeing yourself unhappiness. By leaving, at least you give yourself a chance to find real love. It's always best to try and fail, than to stay where you are out of fear only to have the pain of regret haunt you even more later. My 36M, wife's 35F, Google search history. How to approach. We, M.F. in mid-30s with kids, married for 8 years. Marriage been a rocky for us. There is zero affection towards me for several years now, and we have completely dead bedroom, and I get rejected 99.9% of the time. Sex maybe few times a year. She is sham. I'm the sole provider but always help with kids. Last night, my wife used my computer, and when I needed to find a website I visited, I went to the browser history to pull the page and found something that made me very uncomfortable, to say the least. Hear what I saw in the history. She searched for infatuation in marriage. She read the following articles. Fell in love with another man while married. What to do? Infatuation in marriage, advise. Fell in love, but I'm married and do not know what to do. What do you think is going on, and how can approach this? I can't find any other logical reasons. I need your opinion. As a note, I did not spy on her, but she used my computer and I need to look up a website and found her searches. Jesus. I'm sorry, man. Take screenshots and collect as much evidence as you can before confronting her. For legal reasons too, it's very important to have this all on file. Record everything. It's possible that she has a deep crush on someone from afar. I don't think it's necessarily cheating at all, but it may be a symptom of her unhappiness in your marriage. Or, it's possible she has fallen in love with someone else and fallen out of love with you. Either way, having a talk with her is the only way forward. It's even possible that she left that search history on your computer so that you would see it, because she doesn't know how to bring it up. It doesn't sound like your marriage is really great. You either need to go to couples counseling or move on. Set yourself free, my man. This sounds like a blessing in disguise. Offer marriage counseling, and then if you can't get on the same page, file for divorce. Kick her to the curb, for heaven's sake. She is cheating. That is legit signs of cheating. I don't like throwing the cheating card around, but definitely is. Sorry, op. Seems like she's checked out of your marriage and probably has been for a long time after not having a physical or emotional connection for years. Best you can do is couples counseling or divorce if that doesn't work. Seems most of the time when a spouse says they lost their libido, it's really just for their partner. Why is my girlfriend 28, F telling me 38, F I had to change my child last name? I don't know how to wrap this statement around my head. My now ex-girlfriend after 2.5 years is telling me she has tried but can't get past the fact of knowing my two boys 10 and 12 who are named after the father, his last name and middle names that he gave them. She is now saying it's bothering her and she is a lesbian who does not want to be attached to a man. So since I have not had the conversation her app changing their names, which the only reason this came apt is because this morning my son's Spotify account synced to my TV and it exposed his first and last name. This is how this whole convo came apt. But we broke up 2 days ago because she said she can't be me due to she can't get past the fact of me having more than one child this man that I have been since 2018. Please help me. No idea what to make of this, but whatever is going on here sounds like bullet dodged. You have 2 children with a man from a previous relationship. And your now ex-girlfriend broke up with you because she cannot stand the fact that your children have names? Anyone who insists you need to change your children's names should probably be locked up in therapy. She needs to only date women who does not have a past with a man or children. She knew going in that you had children and they have a relationship with him still, so her wanting to change their name is ridiculous. Sounds like she solved the problem for you. Expecting someone to change their child's name just because a man was involved in the naming is utterly ridiculous. She knew you were a mom when she got involved with you, and it stands to reason that there was more than likely a man involved in the creation of said children. Block her, she needs fucking therapy. She's crazy. Sounds like an excuse to me. Why on earth would you get rid of the kid's last name? That man is still their father. Sounds like she has some more deep-seated issues and need professional help. My boyfriend 31M neglected to tell me 31F about his STD for 6 months. How do I forgive him? My boyfriend, 31 meters, and I, 31 female, have been dating for just under 6 months. We met through some precarious circumstances 4 years ago, that led to some unnecessary drama at the beginning, but things mellowed out. We began planning trips together, planning the next year together, and overall things were headed in a positive direction. My birthday is today, so naturally, over the weekend we did a bit of celebrating. I didn't drink much, not a big drinker, but my boyfriend was completely intoxicated. When we arrived at my apartment he began talking about guns and home safety. Not a huge fan of keeping guns in the house or using them for safety. He was blatantly saying things in an aggressive way to try and get a rise out of me. I didn't respond the way he wanted and confronted him. I left the situation after a discussion of possession of firearms, in Canada, with intent to harm being extremely toxic and illegal. I told him we can talk about it more in the morning. I went to bed and he followed, still in a heightened state of emotion. We laid in bed and he told me that he has been positive for herpes for over a year and is on antiviral medication since his diagnosis. Being a nurse, I do have empathy towards his embarrassment and understand the risks. Knowing his emotions were running high in this state, I responded calmly, letting him know that I was disappointed, and if he had given me a choice with informed consent, I probably would have continued seeing him. He was extremely tearful and apologetic. I kept my calm demeanor, because I knew adding to the situation my own feelings would only make things worse. I was also maybe a little shell-shocked. He said this went better than I expected, and we went to sleep. Today I have been in a bit of a spiral. I learned that I'm not the only person he has taken informed consent so liberally with. I told him he needs to tell these other women to even begin to make amends. He agreed. All day I have been sick to my stomach, not about the herpes diagnosis, but the fact that he's told me he loves me. We're planning a future together and trips, but he lied to me. How can I trust him again? I'm starting to wonder if it's worth the heartache. I don't think there's a way past this. He knew this could be a deal breaker, and instead of letting you make the decision about it, he lied to you. At 31 you have to decide how much growing up you have left to do and how much growing up you want a partner to have left to do. Regardless of his actions being stupid and dangerous, they are incredibly immature. If he was 21, I could forgive it easier than at 31. So, is he mature enough for you at 31, or is this a symptom of a bigger issue? You don't. Fuck, the bar is so low. 6 months in and he gets drunk and tries to start an aggressive argument over guns, and then he tells you about how he lied to you, by omission, about an incurable virus. Girl, really? Forgiveness by telling him he's scummy and creepy. Then forgive yourself for actually considering staying with this maniac. Your boyfriend's actions are a huge breach of trust, and you can't just ignore that. Feeling sorry for him because he's embarrassed doesn't cut it. His feelings don't justify his behavior. You're right to be questioning whether you can trust him again. If he really cares about you, he needs to step up and take responsibility, not just say he's sorry, but show through his actions that he's committed to rebuilding that trust. Any relationship that starts on a lie will inevitably fail. He lied to you about something critical. That trust is permanently broken. Chances are he will or already has lied about other things too. He doesn't respect you enough to be truthful from the get-go. He lied so he could get a relationship with you. That's a massive red flag. You should not stay with him.